It's my birthday! It's my birthday. It's that time of year again where I'm reminded of my own mortality as I get just 1 year closer to the grave. One year closer to the inevitability that the cold darkness of death itself will take me. And that's really just great, you know? And I said in my first video, I wanted to do some fun monthly research videos where I expand my content. I research a topic that I'm interested in, and I talk about it. Well, I've got something for you guys today as a little mini research episode. Since I couldn't get something out for August, because I started YouTube halfway through August, we're gonna do 2 research videos in the month of September, but this one's a little small. This is just a little bite. This is just a little sample. An appetizer, if you will, for this type of content. But I was thinking about my mortality, you know, turning 19. It's somehow worse than 18 because I'm not in school anymore. So, you know, just chilling. Being old now, and 19, you know, next up is Big 20, and that one's gonna be real bad. That I'm not gonna feel too happy about that one. But you know, I'm in a weird space where, like, I'm not a full-on adult. I mean, I'm a legal adult, but I don't consider 19-year-olds adults. Shit, I don't consider, like, 20-year-olds adults, full-on adults. Like, it takes a long time for someone to learn all there is about being an adult. But also, I'm not a kid either. I definitely wouldn't consider myself a child. I'm kind of in limbo, you know? I'm in limbo of aging. And I started thinking about it, you know, like 19 years old, but there was a time where I wouldn't even know how fucking old I am. I would have been fucking Ongdo Gabungdo, watching the moon and the stars to figure out how many days have passed by, and I would have no concept of my own age other than the fact that my skin would begin to wrinkle and fall off of the bone, and then I would slowly decay and die at the ripe old age of fucking 23 or something. What I'm getting to is, whose idea was this, you know? Whose idea was it to throw these parties for me, myself, and I on my birthday? Like, why am I even doing this in the first place? Well, that's the video, baby. Today, we're gonna look at some history, baby. Let's go! History! Alright, show of hands. Who wants to learn about the history of birthdays? No, you guys are, history's fun. History's fun, I promise. History's fun. I like history. It was one of my favorite subjects in school. And I'm gonna take a shot at giving y'all some good knowledge today on history. So let's go back in time. Let me get my time machine. All right. Let's figure out together where birthdays started. All right. The first stop on our tour, our little venture here through time is the good old age that we all remember so fondly of 3000 BCE, where if you were alive in 3000 BCE and you were in a very specific spot on the earth, you would have been one of the ancient Egyptians, baby. The Egyptians. That's right. According to the research I've done, some of the first traceable records of a birthday party go back all the way to the Egyptians. But their birthdays, they were a little different. They weren't like, they were a little different. So what the Egyptians would do, they would celebrate the pharaoh's birthday, because initially birthdays were reserved for royalty and like people of high power. Normal ass motherfuckers, they didn't have birthdays. They didn't care about their birthdays. They didn't keep track of their birthday. Nothing like that. Shit, people didn't start doing birth certificates until way fucking later. So, what did they do for the pharaoh then? The Egyptians, they commemorated and celebrated the pharaoh's coronation day, inauguration day, whatever you want to call it. The day the pharaoh became the pharaoh in the first place, because they saw it as the birth of a new god. And the pharaoh ascending to godhood, the ascension of godhood was seen as the birth of a new god. So it was the god's birthday. And they celebrated. The pharaoh invited some people, if I'm not mistaken. And they had a party. There was candles and worshiping. And that's how they got down on birthdays. One guy's birthday. Back in 3000 BCE type era. So again, this is one of the first traceable instances of a birthday in history. There might have been a birthday before this, but if there was, Google did not know about it. Nor did any of the sources I found on Google. But continuing on through our tour, we're gonna jump ahead to the good old fondly remembered time of 1000 to 146 BCE, where now we're chilling with the Greeks, baby. The Greeks. And the Greeks, they would get down on birthdays for their gods. Most notably, Artemis, the goddess of the moon. Artemis. What they would do in the past times for Artemis, the girl from Fortnite, is they would create moon-shaped cakes and decorate them with candles, which the candles are representative of the moon's radiance and Artemis's beauty, is what the candles represent. And these cakes, you could say that they are the first recorded instance of birthday cakes, baby. Write it down, put it in your notes. As far as I could find on my research venture, this is one of the first recorded instances of a birthday cake. But the real glory of the birthday cake we know today comes much, much later, which we'll get to that later on our tour through time. But next on our adventure is 353 BC to 476 AD. Now, we're rocking with the Romans, baby. The Romans, they did it big. They did it big, guys, because they were one of the first to celebrate their own birthdays. That's right. We're not just celebrating royalty anymore, baby. Fuck that. I want a birthday too. That's what they said. They said, we all get birthdays, except not really, because the birthday wasn't fully for you, actually. Let me explain. So, what the Romans did is they love to celebrate the beginning of things. They'd have birthdays for temples, for cities, for people, all sorts of shit. And this was called, oh my god, Dies Natalis, I think. I'll put the word up on the screen so you can pronounce it better than I did. Anyways, on birthdays, they treated birthdays as a sort of religious ritual for the person in question. Now, the Romans believed that when you're born, you get a stand. I mean, a guardian spirit. Ignore I said that. And the guardian spirits were known as geniuses. No, I'm not kidding, and I looked up how to pronounce it. It's genius. It's literally the word genius. For women, it was a Juno. And these guardians would stay with you from the moment you were born until the day you rot and die. And they would protect you from the evil spirits. Turns out, birthdays throughout history would be connected to evil spirits very frequently. Don't know why. They just, a lot of people believed you were most vulnerable to the evil spirits on your birthday. I don't fucking know why, but, surrounding yourself with loved ones was a way to protect yourself from the spirits. But what the Romans would do on their birthday is they'd say prayers for good fortune for the coming year. They'd make sweet honey cakes and shit to offer them to the geniuses or the Junos. And they would burn incense, pour wine. The celebrant would wear a dress in a white robe, all sorts of shit. But they would mostly offer things to their guardian spirit, their stand. And by doing so, they basically have a lease with these guys or something, and they have a subscription service, and they got to renew that bitch once a year. So this is how they renew it. This is their payment, essentially. And yeah, and then you wrap that bad boy up by surrounding yourself with loved ones to ward off the evil spirits. The loved ones might give you gifts to ward off evil spirits. And that's how the Romans did it, baby. That's a Roman birthday for you. Now Roman royalty would throw big festivals and have big birthday parties like holidays. But if you were just a normal guy or a normal girl, your birthday would specifically be a private event among very close friends and family. And I think that's pretty cool. Maybe this year I'll make a sacrifice to my guardian spirit. Anyways, moving on. Throughout our tour, it's time for the Big C, baby. Do you guys know what the Big C is? They're responsible for all sorts of shit throughout history. That's right, it's the Christians! Oh my god, the Christians! We're going all the way to the 4th century, also known as 300 AD. So technically we're kind of going back in time a little bit. Forget it, it's not important. The Christians, baby! Now, Christians are an interesting group in the fact that I believe some people still go by this belief system, but back in the day, Christians thought birthdays were a no-no, because when you're born, according to Christian ideology, you're tainted with original sin. Every little baby is born as an evil motherfucker, and you need to atone for your sins for the rest of your life. And that's Christianity. I mean, there's a lot more that goes into Christianity, but original sin, baby. And they thought celebrating your birthday was a pagan belief. What's a pagan? Fuck knows. No, I know now. I researched it. Pagans. So, when the Romans became Christians and they started believing that after they killed Jesus, they had a term for people who still believed the old religious ways, and these people were usually living in rural areas of Rome and shit. And people who weren't Christian they were the pagans, and it was usually a derogatory term. Pagans. It was seen to celebrate your birthday as a pagan belief, and that's a no-no for Christians. Because why would you celebrate the day when you were brought into the world with original sin, when you were taken away from God? Why would you do that? But eventually, some fucking genius, they came around and they were like, guys, we need I seriously don't know what the fuck that noise is, but it's bothering me. There's like a bug in here or something. I'm in danger. There's a bug in my time machine. They started celebrating Jesus' birthday, also known as Christmas, also known as the greatest holiday of all time. Don't fight me on it. You can't convince me otherwise. The Christmas video later this year will go hard, I promise. But, anyways, they started celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ, and I tried so hard to research when Christians specifically started celebrating their own birthdays. I could not find shit. If y'all know in the comments, if y'all want to help me, if we got some history experts in here, let me know. And we can solve this mystery together. But for now, I'll just present to you an assumption of the thought process that led Christians to start celebrating their own birthdays. I think it went something like this. Well, shit, if Jesus gets a birthday, I want a birthday. Fuck, man, I should get a birthday too. I want presents. I want cake. I was born. I don't get celebrated. What the fuck, man? I want a birthday. And then people started rallying behind that. Or I could be completely wrong. Who knows? Maybe it was just a quiet thing like, yeah, we'll do birthdays for me too now. But, yeah, initially it was seen as pagan, self-centered, distracting from God. But eventually, fuck, man, they just started celebrating Jesus' birthday. So I guess they all were like, you know what, fuck it, I got a birthday now too. And thus the Christians of the world began celebrating their birthdays. And once that happened, oh boy, you know, once the Christians start doing something in history, it catches on sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you burn the church down because there's evil people in it. But that's neither here nor there. We're looking at this with an unbiased eye. Sorta. Birthdays. Moving on our tour, we've got the 13th to 18th century. I could not pin a specific time for this. Some of my sources said this started in the 18th century. Some said it was the 13th century. Just know that I fucking tried. But we're in Germany, baby. The Germans. Let's go. The Germans. Not those Germans. I know you're already thinking that. No, not those Germans. I just said the time. Not those Germans, guys. Anyways, the Germans have a tradition that is widely credited to be the source of birthday parties as we know them today. And this tradition is called Kinderfest. Now, what is Kinderfest? Kinderfest is literally a fucking birthday party. it's a tradition that is held and is largely responsible for how we see birthdays today. The Germans believed that children were especially susceptible to the evil spirits, the evil spirits making a comeback on their birthday. So how did they counteract the evil spirits? They made cake. They brought presents. They loaded the cake with candles equal to the amount of years you've been alive. You sound familiar? Plus one candle for good luck for the coming year. And then you spend time with your family. You have a grand old time all day. Sometimes you play games. Sometimes there's presents. And at the end of the day, you blow those candles out, baby. And it's said that if you get all the candles in one breath, a wish can come true. Ooh. Ooh. I actually don't remember if the wish thing started with Germany or not. I didn't research that part. I'm now just realizing that. So don't take my word for that. But you would blow out the candles at the end of the day. And that's Kinderfest. And then Kinderfest, it gets picked up and spread all across the globe because everyone's like, man, these kids' parties are real cool for birthdays. We should do that too. And that brings us to America, baby. The old USA. Fuck me. America. We're not going to talk about America and the state it's in right now. We're just not going to talk about it, okay? We're talking about birthdays, not politics. Fuck politics. We're not talking about that right now. We're talking about birthdays in America. Beginning in the 19th century, that's right, the 1800s, wealthy families began celebrating birthdays influenced specifically by Kinderfests. But, back then, doing anything fun was for the rich, so, birthdays were a rich people thing. But another important thing that happened in the 19th century is, in a little later, after the Industrial Revolution had kind of done its thing, the view of children began to shift, focusing more on their emotional value and what they bring as a family member, instead of their potential to be a little worker who can reach the parts in the machines that I can't. So once the 20th century hit, baby, birthdays officially became a widespread tradition among all Americans. The Industrial Revolution made things a lot easier, like making cakes and gifts and making all of that affordable. All of the accommodations that come with a birthday, they're easy to make now. They're affordable to make now. So anyone can do it, baby. Let's go! Industrial Revolution, put those kids to work. But as well, families as well started to become smaller. And they started valuing their individual children's lives more. Because they didn't have as many kids, and like I said, they started actually giving a shit about them instead of just making them for the purpose of having a little worker around, all that good shit. And on top of that, we have the bringing in the household acceptance of the clock and watches, so people start keeping track of time more. And what does that do? It gives you a perception of time. You've got a work schedule. You have to go to work at this time and leave at this time. The train leaves at this time and comes back at this time. Time. It's always passing and it's always going, and I'm gonna die one day. And that means I should figure out when my birthday is and celebrate it! Time. With the addition of watches and clocks came time. And people started to understand calendars and time more. So keeping track of the passage of time became important and common for Americans. With it, celebrating the birthday as well. Birthdays are now, they're just like everyone does it. Why wouldn't you have a birthday? Why wouldn't you have a birthday? Birthday parties also became a huge thing, a larger event. The guests of honor would begin to invite not just family, but friends and other peers as well. They go to school and they're like, hey, Crody, fucking, you want to come to my birthday party? And they're like, hell yeah, I do. Can I invite my friend? And they're like, hell yeah, you can. Thus, birthday parties started getting a lot bigger, having more people. Which led to some final closing thoughts that lead to how we see birthdays here in the present time at the end of our tour. Very notably, with the increase in the amount of people going to birthday parties, it also increased the need for more space. And people started thinking, why host a birthday party at my house when I could do it at fucking anywhere? I could host a birthday at an arcade, at a bowling alley, at a miniature golf course. So that's exactly what they started doing. The creation of play places at fucking McDonald's party rooms, fucking any major food chain. They've got a party room. You've got party rooms in arcades, party rooms in fucking bowling alleys, party rooms at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Speaking of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, one of the biggest popularizers of hosting parties as a company at an owned property was Chuck E. Cheese's, baby. That's right, Charles Entertainment Cheese. Once Chuck E. Cheese's started hosting those parties like no tomorrow. Everyone wanted to do it, baby. It became very popular for restaurants like Cheese's, like Chucky's. And that leads us to what we have today. So many kids are going to arcades and play places and fucking Peter Piper pizzas and shit to celebrate their birthday. So mom and dad don't have to do shit. They can just fucking ship off their kids to a big warehouse of fun, and they don't have to plan anything. Everything's set up already. The party rooms are set up. I think. I've never planned out a birthday party for a kid before. I don't know. Birthday cards! Originating in England. Now, millions of birthday cards are sent out every year with filled to the brim with like $20. Some thoughtful prayers and notes. When the family member is living somewhere else and just can't make it, you got your birthday cards, baby. From Mexico, we got piñatas. Piñatas coming in from Mexico and their culture. Breaking open the piñata, it's good luck, baby. Again, to ward off those evil spirits. And with the piñata, you break that bad boy open and you rob it of its guts and innards, which is just exclusively candy and toys. It's amazing. You get your party games like Pin the Tail on the Donkey and Fortnite. And again, you get your birthday cakes coming in from Germany, baby, where we can definitely credit Kinderfest for the origin of birthday cakes as we know them today. And finally, one of the most important pieces of birthday history, but not quite long enough to have its own segment, so it's in the notes at the end of this video. We have the Happy Birthday song. That's right, the Happy Birthday song. Who made it? Well, back in 1893, two sisters, yes, it took two people to make this song, Patty and Mildred Hill, created a song that was intended to be easy to sing and memorize for children called Good Morning to All. Yes, I'm not bullshitting you. The Happy Birthday song is not like even its own original song. It takes the melody of Good Morning to All and transforms it into Happy Birthday to You. I couldn't figure out who did that, but I did learn that turns out there was a shit ton of copyright issues with Happy Birthday for a long ass time. And only in 2017 did it enter the public domain. But before that, it was copyrighted as both, it was seen as potentially one of the most successful copyrights on a song ever. And as of right now, it is considered one of the most recognized songs in the English language.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to viewer. Happy birthday to you.
And with that, y'all are caught up, baby, on a brief and unprofessional take on the history of birthdays, baby. Now you know. Now you know a little more. Now you know a little more if you didn't. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I've recorded for 28 minutes. I'm so fucked on having to edit this shit. But I'm gonna try and stick it out for you guys, and hopefully this video will actually come out on my actual birthday. But yeah, closing thoughts. Happy birthday to me. I'm a winner. Today's my day to be a winner. But in all seriousness, y'all have made this birthday very special because I'm starting YouTube. And I never did a proper thank you in a video, but a huge thank you to you guys for all the amazing support you've shown thus far. It means the world to me. It's the best birthday gift I could have asked for. Next to my cat. I'm sorry, you guys aren't better than my cat. You're close, but I love my cat. He's really cool. Anyways, that's some history for you, baby, whether you liked it or not. I mean, if you didn't like it, you didn't stay for the video. So, shit. But I hope you guys found this entertaining and a little educational. That's the content we love. Entertaining and educational. The best of both worlds, baby. I've been Baggy, and until next time, stay creative, stay learning. Learning is good for you. It keeps your brain wrinkly. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye! Time machine out!